This did not happen to me, but to my mother, when she worked as a maid in a hotel in Washington, back in the 90s. She needed money. She was a refugee from Vietnam. Despite the fact that her English was not very good, she had enough knowledge of the language to work and communicate with the hotel staff. Everyone loved her for her easy nature, and every time rich guests or celebrities checked into the hotel, my mother was always invited to clean their room. One day a guest arrived at the hotel. We called him Mr. because I do not know his real name. He checked into the most expensive room. The manager, as usual, sent my mother to clean up his room, but when she came to the room, there was a "Do Not Disturb" sign on the door. The man lived in the hotel for about a month and never let anyone into his room. But since he regularly paid and greeted the employees pleasantly, no one insisted. And one day he disappeared. The manager sent my mother to finally clean the room. When she entered, there was a strong, unpleasant smell in the room. It took her a moment to figure out where he was coming from. The room was turned upside down, as if parties were being thrown here, although no one had ever visited Mr. did not tell anyone that he was leaving the room. In search of the source of the smell, Mom opened the closet and found a cardboard box there. What she saw when she opened it scares Mom to this day. There lay the rotting head of a young woman. Mom screamed, ran out of the room, and fainted at the elevator. When she woke up, there were cops everywhere. The manager later told Mom that the guest was using a fake credit card and the head belonged to some call girl. Mom quit the same day. I don't know any more details. One man spent the night at the hotel. In the evening, lying on the bed in the room he rented, he heard someone walking in the next room. The sound of footsteps did not stop and was extremely annoying, as if someone was tirelessly walking in circles inside the room. The man couldn't sleep because of this. Unable to stand it, he got up, went out into the corridor, and knocked on the door of the next room. The footsteps stopped, but no one opened the door. Then he bent down and looked inside through the wide keyhole. He saw a tall woman with very fair skin standing in the corner of the room facing the wall. He called out to her through the door, but the woman did not move. The man returned to his room and fell asleep. No more footsteps disturbed him that night. In the morning, recalling this incident, he thought that it looked quite strange. Why was the woman standing in the corner, not moving, not opening the door? Passing by that very room, he could not resist and looked through the keyhole again, but saw nothing apparently. From that side the keyhole was covered with something red so that no one would peep. After going down, the man told the receptionist about yesterday's incident. To his surprise, he reacted very violently and excitedly asked if he had tried to break into this room. "No," the man replied, confused. "And don't try," the administrator said. "We should have put you in another room, but yesterday everyone else was busy. We were hoping that you wouldn't notice anything overnight. The fact is that a couple stayed in this room a few years ago. They had a quarrel, and the husband killed his wife in the room at night. Since then, we haven't put anyone in there, but people still hear someone walking inside at night." "Are you saying that this pale woman is a ghost?" The man was scared. "And, by the way, about her pallor. You know, she had some kind of rare disease. Her whole skin was white, and the eyes were strange too. They were an unusual red color." I worked at my aunt and uncle's family hotel in a Scottish village 12 years ago. The scariest thing that ever happened to me happened one night. I was sleeping in the workers' room and I heard a noise from the hallway. It was 3 o'clock in the morning. Most of the workers had already gone to bed. I went out into the hallway to tell everyone to stop making noise, but it was empty outside. By the way, the corridor was well lit. I'm checking just in case. I reached the very end and looked out at the stairs, expecting to see a drunken crowd, but I only saw a strange figure. I can describe her as a shadow of a man who was solid. I couldn't make out the features of the face or the clothes, but I could see through it. I ran back to my room and locked myself in, but I could still hear him pounding on the stairs. I don't think I managed to sleep that night. Later, I asked the other employees. Everyone heard the noise, but no one came out to check what was going on. I worked at a famous hotel and I can remember a few strange cases. Every now and then one of the guests complained that the girl was screaming from the pool, but every time we checked it, there was no one there. Later, the manager said that a girl really drowned in this pool a few years ago. One night I was working at the reception desk. I got a call from one of the rooms and complained about the noise from above. The problem was that the room above them was empty. Once there was a murder in this room, the wife killed her husband, and the room was converted into a warehouse. From time to time, the reception desk gets a call from this room. I'm sure there's a rational explanation for this, but it was all very strange.